Hello friend and welcome to Betta Days. I'm super excited about this video because it is actually a remake of one of the first videos that I posted on this channel. If I'm not wrong, I think it was either the second or the third video that I have on my channel, which is still up and you could check it out if you wanted to. But I was thinking it over the other day because I'd heard back from several people who watched it about how helpful it was, but I realized that I had actually changed up a few things as I have gone, and it's probably been about 8 months since I filmed that, so I've learned a few things. So I wanted to create a nice little updated video for you. You may recognize the leaf ring as one that is available on Amazon. I'll put an image of that right up here. It is basically a solid piece of plastic with a suction cup, but my main issue with this was that, number one, it was extra money that I had to spend. While it wasn't super expensive, I think it might be around maybe $4 to $6, but it just wasn't big enough. I mean, they just do not make the rings large enough. The rings are so small and the tunnel ends up being really, really tiny. And while a Betta can swim through it, most of them just don't like that. They like a little bit more of an open concept. So I thought, hey, let me see what some extra supplies I have on hand and maybe I can make one up myself. And you know what? I actually did. So if you have a sponge filter in your tank or tanks, then you should have the supplies that you need to make this on hand. But I will pop up a photo of the supplies you'll need right here. This is actually a bundle that I bought off of Amazon. The supplies you need will be all in the kit, so you can buy that off of Amazon. I will have a link to it in the description if you don't have it. But like I said, if you have a sponge filter, you likely will have everything on hand. So you will need a piece of Airline tubing, one of the suction cups that comes with the kit, and this little tubing connector. There are several that come in with the kit, but I find that this one is the best. To make the ring, go ahead and grab all 3 pieces that you need. Super easy, just all 3 pieces. And then take this first and attach it to each side. Now I may have cut a little bit too much of my Airline tubing, but that's okay because I can size it down. So look at it and see if you like this size. If you like it bigger, make it bigger. But for what I need, I do need it a little bit smaller. So all you have to do is take one end off. Let's try that. Okay, that is exactly what I need. You can see I can probably fit about 3, yeah, I can fit 3 fingers through it. So that's a good size for me. And then I just take the suction cup and I snap it onto either side. And it's solid. It is in there and it is perfect. If you put it in your tank and find that it swivels a little too much for your liking, you can actually super glue it. Just take it out, put a little dab of super glue right there, snap it in, and it'll hold it in place. But honestly, I don't find that it's a big problem for me. So this is just what I need. As far as placing actual leaves in the ring, you get to decide which one that you want. Do you want a larger leaf like Indian almond leaves to create a full tunnel, or do you want it to be more open concept and have a smaller leaf in there? This was on Amazon. I will leave a link to it, but the leaves are absolutely huge and I do actually have to cut them down to size sometimes just because they're so massive. I'll give you an example. See, big. This thing is bigger than my hand. It's, well, actually it's about as big as my hand. Usually I will cut this side off right here and then I will roll it up this way. But if you tried to roll it up right now, because it's so crispy, it would snap in half. There are a few ways you can soften this up. In my first video that I made, I talk about boiling it on the stove for a little while to soften it up and then using the tannin water back into your tank, which you can do. But if you don't want to stand over a boiling pot, I actually figured out that you can just stick it in your aquarium water and let it sit for a few hours and then it will soften up just fine. I usually stick it in this way and then I find that it will almost adhere to the glass and just stay. So it won't float around, it just stays and then it will soften up. And then you can roll it up. But a couple weeks ago, I realized that I had some smaller leaves, so I wanted to try it and see if I could create an open concept little rest, kind of recliner, and it worked perfectly. So I use these cow ears leaf litter, which is just a specific type of leaf. And it is from Betta Botanical. This is the one that I've been using more of, which the same thing goes for this, except you don't actually have to roll it. You just stick it in long ways, so you don't have to let this soak to become soft. And I will show you how I use this one because this is my favorite right now. Let's try this one. It's a little bit longer. But again, if it is too long for you, you can always cut off the end with scissors. Look for the natural curve. This one is a little crispy, but I shouldn't have to soak this one because I don't usually. I could potentially make the ring larger, but I find that if the ring is larger, then it doesn't actually hold the leaf in place and the leaf just kind of flops everywhere. In there, pretty solid, so it shouldn't fall out. One thing I did want to mention though is when you are looking at having this in your tank for a while, if you have had botanicals in your tank before, any kind of leaf, you know that after probably about a month, maybe 3 weeks, it gets really soft because it starts to break down and then the snail starts snacking on it, so it gets thinner. Any leaf like that will start to fall out of this holder. It just will. If this is the case, just swap it out for a new leaf. That's the easiest way to do it. Just fish the old one out and swap it I would say every 2 to 3 weeks you can swap this out and it will be totally fine. Let's go put this in William's tank and I will show you how it looks. When putting it into the tank, I have to kind of go around certain things. But if you have a wider tank, it won't be an issue. Essentially, I just grab it like this, almost like one of those pop sockets you have on the back of your phone. Put 2 fingers there like that. That way you can press it up against the glass really easily and slide it down. Now you can go as far down as you want, but I like to keep this near the surface because William likes to rest near the surface where he can get some oxygen. And then you'll need to push the leaf down in there and adjust it yourself. Depending on how long the leaf is, you may need to slide it back in there. All right, it is all situated in there. It looks perfect. It might take William a little bit to figure out that it's there since I did take it out. But this is his favorite spot and he always finds it after I've taken it out to replace the leaf. If you found this video helpful, let me know. Let me know what your Bettas think as well. If you try it out and are able to, take a photo or video and tag me. I would love to see it. You can tag me here on YouTube and you can also tag me on Instagram. I'll have my Instagram linked in the description so you can follow my account and see more of William and Alexander. The boys and I both wish you a wonderful day and we will see you soon.